Hey there everyone. So the other day I had a bit of a realization. There is a very small possibility that 2.2 is going to come out in 9 days. Only 9 days, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. So I think that now is the best time as a community for us to all kind of look back at how far we've come. And for me, that's going to come in the form of taking a look at some of my old levels. Don't worry about this. This is coming soon. There's so much stuff here, and I'm just going to go all the way to the very back. Right, so we're starting off with Skelebang 2. So Skelebang was my original username. I don't know what it means. It just was. And I decided to name my first level after that. Now this, don't be deceived, this isn't my first level. This is the sequel. So now you're probably asking, well, Zuckus, why is the sequel below the original? Well, the reason for that is, while I was creating the original Skelebang, I got a bit angry at the editor because I didn't know what layers were, and I had somehow managed to go onto layer 1 and could no longer select anything. And so my little 11-year-old brain was overloaded with anger and deleted the level. But luckily I'd already uploaded a copy to the servers by then, so I was able to still retrieve it. And this is what my first level looks like. As you can see, right from the very beginning, I was always incredibly talented. Really interesting designs. You know, I'm using skeletons already. Look, it's a themed level. See that skull? Isn't that frightening? You know, I can still play this level from memory. I remember it very vividly. Another thing I remember vividly is... Oh shit, I'm no-clipping. That's not good. Another thing that I can vividly remember is making this level first and then choosing the song later. I was about 50% of the way through making the level, and then I was like, okay, I should probably choose a song now. And somehow Theory of Everything 2 managed to sync somewhat decently, which I think is a bloody miracle, personally. And there's a 144Hz bug. Awesome. Maybe 120 will work. Now just bear this level in mind because it's going to get a lot more boring after this. I was really experimental with this level, and afterwards I just kind of started making 1.0 layouts. I had like a whole phase of those kinds of levels. Come on, I can do this. Oh, died to the straight fly. Honestly, I kind of miss the days back when I was just creating with a carefree mood about me. Nowadays, I feel so like imprisoned by rating restrictions. I find it quite hard to really do anything creative. But then looking back at this, you know, it's a pile of junk, obviously, but you could just really tell, looking at this level, that it was just me screwing around in the editor, and I think that's something that I don't really often see with my levels nowadays. But yeah, that's Skelebang. My masterpiece. So the second level I ever made was Tapper Zero. You can read that description for yourself. It's called that because it was originally going to be auto, and then I just didn't make it auto, and I can go back to 144Hz now. So this is essentially what a lot of my levels looked like for a few months. They were all just layouts, really. I still didn't know how to use the color trigger. I was just kind of messing around. Oh, can I get the coin? Oh, let's go. You see that little TZ down there? Oh, great transition. I guess something that is kind of notable is that even though I was for some reason mentally restricting myself to only use the 1.0 blocks, I was still trying to sort of create some interesting designs. Like I have that little logo down there. I've got some checkerboard block designs. Like at least it's something. It's not completely barren. Oh wow, nice. I think I'm going to be practice moding most of these, just out of fear that there will be some really awful bugs that might throw me off. But I can still vividly remember most of my old levels, which is quite fun. I guess another reason why a lot of my levels past Skelebang were so boring is that when I first downloaded the full version of Geometry Dash on my iPad, I went straight to the level editor. Like I didn't even touch the main levels at all. I went straight to the level editor and started creating. And that's probably why Skelebang is just so nonsensical. Whereas this, you can see like the clear inspiration from Rob Top levels. So yeah, there's Tapper Zero. The next level I made was Flumper. As you can guess, it's a jumper remake. I still have not discovered that you can change the color of the ground. This was my first long length level, and I remember being super proud of this back in the day. But looking back, it is just really barren. But there are some attempts at sync here and there. I still remember all the blind jumps and everything. Oh, look at that swagger out. Yeah, see, this gameplay is just so mid, you know? Though you might notice a recurring theme within my levels that I like to put skulls inside blocks. I guess that was just kind of my thing for a little bit. I love that really tiny little jump pad. Like, what's the point of that? I really just don't have anything to say about this level. Oh, I remember this coin. I remember raging trying to get this coin. It was bothering me to no end. Oh, now I remember. I remember what I would do is I just fall and then hold, and then I go up, and it doesn't work on 144Hz. That is awesome. Oh, there's a jewel. Thanks for playing. And there's a skull. Yeah, a lot of my levels back then were just like really nothing. Twang it up. I remember even when making this level, I hated it. It was so mediocre, I just did not like it. I think the main reason why I used to dislike this level was because that third coin there was super difficult. And also this level was just like, it was super short, you know? It was the first level that I made that I kind of looked at and went, yeah, this is low effort. I didn't really try as hard. I'm gonna try and get this third coin to prove to myself that I've gotten better at the game. Here we go. Oh god. Yeah, it's so dumb. It is so dumb. No competent level creator would ever put it in a coin like this and think, yeah, that's good. Anyways, there we go. Oh my god, it doesn't even work. And then there's just a poltergeist ending. So yeah, that's a level. Alright, now here is the first level that I never actually finished. So, Blast. As you can guess, it's blast processing. I figured out how to change the background color, and that's about all I have to say about this level. It is very mid, although I did make a wave section. At 100% speed, does this look possible to you guys? What do you think? I think this guy's a hacker. And yeah, it's impossible. So that's Blast. Sleepy Heaven was just me testing a bunch of triggers and stuff. I think it was the rotate trigger that I was testing here. Hold on. And I suppose this was also the first time that I used a custom song. And I used a pretty good one at that. This is a great song. So yeah, this is an auto level. I don't really know what my goal was with this, but I made this rotating thing at the end, which I thought was super cool. Alright, next. Unnamed, what is this? I don't remember what this is. Oh wait, no, I know what this is. My friend made this, actually. I had a friend over, like, a few years ago, and he just made this. I remember he told me he was using this song because it was in Rocket League. This is just unlocking so many memories that I would have completely lost were it not for 2.2 coming out so soon. Come on, let's see if I can do this. Nice spike setup, idiot. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with that one. Morning Calm. I remember I finished this one in a dentist. I was at the dentist and I was waiting for my my checkup, and I just finished this. Fun fact: it was actually named after a jazz trumpet piece that I was playing. Morning Calm by Jim Snodero for all you student brass players. But it does use Xenogenesis, so it's automatically a 10 out of 10. I also vividly remember that when creating this level, I wanted to add more speed portals, but for some reason, I'd managed to uncheck every portal, and it wasn't syncing to the song, so it's just kind of half speed for all of it. So yeah, I think this is one of the first levels I made that's like it's pretty easy to see what theme I was going for. It's just nature, and sort of mountains and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. And there are definitely some attempts at sync here and there. Oh, here we go. Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Oh yeah. Yeah, even from a young age, I was choosing the best songs. Hellbred. This was around the time when I started to discover the Hell style. And this was my first attempt at it. It's less than good, as you will soon discover. Oh, ow, ow. Did 11-year-old me just, like, not have eyes or anything? Did I not look at this and go, this might give people seizures? But yeah, this is left unfinished for obvious reasons. Oh yeah, this was the rotate trigger test I made. Whoa. That's so cool. Oh yeah, by the way, I changed my GD name around this time. It was Zavbang for a while. You can probably imagine why I changed it later. Yep, that's my rotate trigger test. Speedy, this is another one made by a friend. I like this introduction because it's just an absolute mess. You never see people rotate jump pads in any featured levels ever. Obviously you see them rotated to lock to slopes, but you never see jump pads rotated in such a manner like this. Like, it just looks so weird. You know, little features of the Geometry Dash level. Oh, there's no way. There is no way. I actually copied the rotating thing from Retray. That's hilarious. Peak gameplay here. Oh, nice. Robot. What's gonna happen? Oh, and now I'm a ship. Ball. I bet it's gonna be UFO next. That's my bet. It's UFO next. Come on, please. No. Oh, well, we can't all be happy. Crimson Rain. Wait a minute. I think we're missing a level here. This should not be over here. This actually, Locked and Loaded. This level came out between Morning Calm and Sleepy Heaven, I suppose. This was the first level that I remember being super, super happy with. You can see the clear inspiration from Frontline Fall. You might remember that gauntlet level in the Lava Gauntlet. I was basically just ripping that off. Oh yeah, nice. Nice gameplay. Oh, look at the sync. Oh shit. I remember loving this gameplay back when I first made it. Thought it was super cool. Looking back, that's actually some rather decent sync for the time. I think this is the first level that really feels kind of coherent. Oh, there's my name. There's me. There's me. Oh, great detail. If you watch, you can still see the spikes down there. Awesome. Oh, what? There's a bug. Okay, then. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch to 120 hertz. Okay, fine. 60. Oh, nice. Yeah, 60 FPS. I refuse to do this for any longer. I really had no idea what to do to make good background pulses, so I was just kind of turning it on and off from red and black. And that doesn't work either. Oh, here we go. Bro really put text there that said... I always remember wanting to make a gun animation, but not knowing how, so it's just like, yeah, text will suffice. Oh, look at that drop. I really wish I discovered speed portals a bit sooner. Honestly, I think that structuring is actually pretty cool for ship gameplay. Looking at this, I think slopes are probably a bit underutilized for ship. Oh, there you go. Crimson Rain. This is where I discovered the move trigger, and this was definitely the most ambitious level that I'd ever made, up to this point. There are honestly some parts about this level that I still kind of like. I think the level actually has a tiny bit of intensity. Looking at this level in particular, there's so many ideas here that I would just never use nowadays because they're terrible. But, you know, at least they were creative. Like, I had ideas back then, and I didn't really feel restricted. These movements are terrible, by the way. Oh yeah, I remember verifying this level, and I put that little chompy guy there. Got a coin. Doesn't work. Okay. Oh, it's building up to a big drop. What's gonna happen? Oh shit. There's a skull. Is it going to be a boss fight? Anyways, yeah, that's Crimson Rain. Bit locked. This was just a layout. As you can see, it's a deadlocked remake. And it is, yeah, it's not good. Oh, this was going to be my first collaboration. This was. I think I saw this level in the Magic tab, and the guy who made it, his name was Quarez11. He said he wanted someone else to finish it off, and I said, hey, can I finish it? He said, yeah, sure. And I never finished it. Right, so as you can probably tell, this isn't my part. This was the part made by the other guy, and I thought this looked awesome at the time. I honestly can't be stuffed switching between 60 and 144 FPS anymore, so I think I'm just going to turn on no clip. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is my part, this is my part. Wait, it's terrible. Terrible gameplay. So yeah, that was my layout. It's not very good. And suffice to say, this went nowhere. Oh wow, yeah. Something that I struggled with a lot for a while as a creator was understanding colors. And I think this is one of the worst offenders when it comes to me not knowing how colors work. It's not the worst, but it's one of the worst. Oh god, it's so bad. Oh god, it's revolting. Ew, ew, gross, get it out of my face. Ew, yeah. I don't really know why I made this. I think I just like the song. And then it ends at the drop, so yeah, a bit disappointing. Just looking at this start here, I think we can all see why I didn't continue this level. After Sonic Lapse was... Oh no, that's not good. Yeah, I actually uploaded this at one point. I just kind of wanted to show the world how bad my old levels were, and then I just got rid of it because no one really needed to know. Well, now the whole world is gonna know again. Prowling Souls by me. Oh wow. Oh, it's so bad. I can remember sending this to my cousin, who was also into Geometry Dash at the time, and he just thought this was amazing. When I uploaded this to the servers briefly, I added like short little notices just explaining how great this gameplay is. And I think to really show the full extent of that, I'm gonna have to turn off no clip. So, yeah, just some random movements here and there. It's just really bad. So the main issue with this level, apart from how it looks, is that every single part looked completely different to the other part, and I very, very quickly was running dry on ideas. That's why I never ended up finishing this level, even though I really wanted to. It was just because I simply had no ideas left, and everything I tried looked bad. I think my brain had not yet been introduced to the idea of continuity, because like we just went from this rip-off Knockem part into like a toxic factory, and then it just goes into this purple part. And I remember this part always lagged my game, because I had like a million move triggers. Oh yeah, there go my frames. And then I had the idea that I wanted to make like a huge demon face in the background, and so I used Nobble Boy's tutorial, and I made that. Yeah, that's the demon face that I made. It looks pretty amazing, I must say. It looks fantastic. I was super proud of that demon face when I made it. And then we get into the drop. And this is just the biggest mess you could possibly imagine. Oh yeah, well, there's inverted slopes too. I had the full layout complete for this, but I just really didn't know how to finish decorating it. It was just a mess and I knew it. Even at the time I knew it. That's Prowling Souls. Arguably my largest waste of time in Geometry Dash. So after this level completely flopped, I kind of went through a bit of a phase of just making a bunch of short levels, challenges, or even just unfinished layouts. None of these are relevant to my creating progress at all. Apart from this one. This one is actually like a bit of a level. So the cryptics, I thought at the time this was my best decoration yet, and it definitely was. At the time. Looking back, there are a lot of things wrong with it. The same issue that Prowling Souls had, in that every single part looks very different from the other one, and it was just a bit of a mess, continuity-wise. But I still think this was pretty good for the time, you know? So I start off with this sort of cool glow style, I suppose. Then I go into like a generic-looking part with clouds and stuff, and then it's whatever this is. I remember trying to restructure this wave and failing. And then I don't know what I was trying to do with this part. This spider section is just kind of whatever. But I thought this was going to be like my first featured level when I made it. That was my attempt at a logo, by the way. This layout is just really lazy. It's like 90% auto parts. And yeah, that's the level. I guess about 30% of it, 40% of it was decorated. Yeah, I gave up and I lost hope. New demon layout. I thought this was a medium or hard demon at the time, but in reality, it's just mad unbalanced. That part completely fails to sync, I won't lie. It's just like loads of really terrible flow gameplay, I guess. Yeah, that's my demon layout. Universal Distortion. Oh yeah. This was the second collaboration that I ever kind of attempted to make, and this was with my cousin. This wasn't originally going to be a collab. I was just kind of making this because I was irritated. I think I was irritated at the fact that I was not good at making levels, and so I tried to make a good level. And honestly, I think some of these parts aren't horrendously awful. There's actually some pretty interesting ideas here. Never finished this drop though. So this is where my part ended. I thought it was really good at the time. I'm gonna quickly go have a look for my cousin's part in this. Yeah, here he is. Arctic Squid Ink. This collab would never have worked because we didn't organize groups and colors properly. So yeah, it was just kind of doomed to fail from the start. But here's his part. I thought this was super cool at the time. There's actually some pretty decent stuff here. I don't know what that rotating thing is for. But yeah, I was super hyped about this. I thought this was going to turn out awesome. Alas, 'twas not to be. Anyways, Alias Giga Collab 2. You guys might remember the Alias Giga Collab, you know, that thing that Alias was trying to do. Yeah, I tried to get in that. Just bear this Giga Collab part in mind, because you might see it resurface a bit later, just saying. Here's what it looks like. Yep, there's my Giga Collab part. Yeah, I thought nothing would really ever come of that. But wait, what is this? That's right, Frivolity. I think I worked on this level for about 6 months, or maybe even 12. It took so long to make this level, but it was so much better than anything else I'd ever made before. And it got played by EBW on one of his mod streams. You can actually still find this level in one of his videos. But I love this level, honestly. I absolutely love this level, and I'm so glad that I made it. We're not going to play this version because this is the version that I tried to make after EBW said that he would send it if I like polished it up a bit. And I tried to polish it up, and I just kind of thought, no, I'm just gonna leave it how it is. Honestly, I just want to move on to something else. We're gonna play this version. This is the version 17. Yeah, it got updated 17 times, by the way. Yeah, I did a lot to this level. But goddamn, like, this is just so fun. I love this level so much, and I actually really like some of the gameplay, despite it not being very well balanced. And also, this song slaps. You can't deny that. But if you look at this, it actually kind of looks almost good. That made me so happy, just seeing this level, and it actually looks like a semi-good level. I love this part especially. This part's such a vibe. I don't know. It's a bit hard for me to make levels like this anymore, because they're just so simple, but they have such a nice vibe about them. So incredible. The way I feel with you, so phenomenal. Frivolity was like a big step for me in making levels that were actually kind of polished and decent, you know? Christ, there's so much shit here. What I will do is play this level, because I actually do like some bits of this layout. Like, it's simple, but it flows really well. Yeah, I never finished it though. Bit unfortunate. Collab tryout. This was kind of the third attempt for me to be in a collaboration. This was going to be a collaboration with The Real Billy and The Real Yerg. Basically, Billy put out a layout and asked us to decorate it, and this is what I uploaded. And honestly, this kind of goes hard, not gonna lie. I love this. It's so outdated, but it's so good, dude. I got into the collab and the collab was never finished. So yeah, this is another pretty important level because it was actually the first time I tried to make modern style. So looking at this level now, I think there are some parts that look kind of alright. Obviously it's a bit messy, but there are some parts in here that don't look too bad. The only real issue is, again, there's no continuity. Like every single part looks completely different and I just ran out of ideas. Like I had no idea what to do for this drop part. As you can see, it turned out like this to start off with, and as you can tell, that looks really, really, really bad. You remember that collab tryout? I just kind of took it and tried to turn it into a frivolity sequel, and honestly, it kind of turned out pretty well for a bit of it. I like this part. I think this part looks pretty cool. And this part's just a bit of a mess, and this part's a mess as well, and this part's unfinished. Kind of a shame. If I'd gone through, I think I would have been able to make something that people would have liked. This might not necessarily have been rated, but I think people would have really enjoyed this. The Good Old Days is, well, the description says it all. It's a half 1.0, half glow style level that exists. I don't really know why I made this level. Honestly, it turned out kind of good. I like some of the ideas that I had here. Like, it's super basic, and I think the glow mixes really well with the 1.0 blocks. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it is just a 1.0 level. All circles was when I wanted to make a generic line circles level, and I tried to, and I gave up somehow. But as you can see, it really is just a generic 9 circles level. Although, some of this wave gameplay, I must say, it goes kind of hard. I didn't even make the 9 circles effect right. What the f is that? I think that's meant to say Rate Demon. Wolsey is my pen pal. Oh yeah, this was the second level that got played by a mod. It was EVW again. This one was never sent, but I thought this was really cool, and it's quite funny. I think this level is quite funny. Also, say what you want about the song, but I think it's awesome. Honestly, some of this deco isn't even too bad. The main issue with this level is that it's just super basic. It didn't really try anything, it didn't do anything interesting, and the deco was just super uninspired. Oh yeah, and then there was also this last part, which definitely was preventing the level from getting sent. This level has, I think, what Lake calls end of the levelitis. Although, this animation, absolute fire. Probably the best, most artistic thing I've ever made in my life. Whoa. Truly the level of all time. Misty Dreams. Oh yeah, I think this was back in 2022 or 2021. There was this creator contest called the Flip the Script creator contest, where basically you needed to make a level with a certain theme, but a certain aspect of that level was kind of contrary to the theme. And I chose to make a nature themed level that was all black and white, and made a pretty cool layout for it, and I started decorating, and then I gave up. Which is kind of unfortunate, because I actually kind of like this. It's simple, but it's, you know, it's charming. Also, this song goes so hard, dude. I'm not really sure why I didn't finish this. I just think I kind of had a bit of a negative outlook on how simple the deco was. Oh, here it is. My one and only featured level. Hopefully not my last one. Sorryality. In all honesty, I have no idea why I chose to make a level like this, because it's just completely different from whatever I'd made in the past. I seem to remember being at an airport and thinking of this sort of cross-block design, and just thinking I should make a level with it. You know, it was turning out well, so I think old me, and probably even modern me, is motivated by things currently going well, and then I feel like, well, if things are currently going well, I can probably make them keep going well, right? That's usually why I don't manage to finish Geometry Dash levels often. Most of my newer levels are just kind of the product of things just going pretty well. Because I feel like when I'm in the editor nowadays and I'm faced with a problem, I can find it really, really difficult to just kind of use my brain and solve it, which is a bit concerning and honestly kind of sad, because it means that I lose a lot of potentially really good projects and ideas. I love this wave part, dude. When I was originally making this wave part, I could not seem to make it look good. And then I thought, well, I'll do the lazy thing and add black glow. And the lazy thing really worked. I think this is such an atmospheric looking part. Yeah, that's Sorryality. Juksaw is my waifu is going to be the sequel to Wolsey is my pen pal. This is what I mean by I just kind of drop things when they don't go well. I made basically all of this on a weekend, and I'm not exactly sure why I dropped it. I think I just kind of had a subconscious fear that what I was making, because I made it so quick, was really bad. Like, honestly, it's actually kind of decent. I like some of the designs here. They're kind of good. Oh, spin, spin, spin. I remember this. I remember this layout. I'm still super happy with the gameplay here. I think it's really fantastic. And also the song's awesome. I mean, that's just a given. This would be so good if I were to decorate it, but I just really don't think that's gonna happen. The main reason for that not really ever happening is that a level like this kind of demands a lot of really intricate decoration. Frankly, I'm just not willing to put in the effort to decorate something like this. Oh man, this gameplay is just so fun. I don't know how I was able to make something this fun. It flows so well. Oh damn. This wave is also a stupid timing. But when you get it right, it is so satisfying. Oh yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with this dash orb thing, but it just does not work. And then we get into Tornado's part, which is good. It's an entirely different type of gameplay, and I don't think the two parts really blend together very well. This is not my gameplay, so I'm just not going to be showing this off. Yeah, spin, spin, spin. Had potential, but it was just probably a little bit too ambitious. The next actual level that ignore that. The next actual level that I kind of was working on was Verona Takedown. Now, believe it or not, I made this for school. This was an English project, not even an art project. This was an English project. So our task was we needed to take the story of Romeo and Juliet and recreate it in some other text type. I turned to my friends and said, you know what would be funny? I could make a Geometry Dash level. And they all laughed and spat in my face and called me silly. And then I made a Geometry Dash level and I didn't finish it in time. And I never did finish it actually. I made this over a course of about 3 weeks. And for 3 weeks, like, this was kind of insane for me. Oh, you got that intense opening. I'm gonna have to play that back in practice mode. Oh, basically the only impressive effect in this level is the sun. We're set in fair Verona, 13th century. So yeah, my whole idea with this was just basically you'd be going through a medieval landscape. Well, not medieval. You'd be going through like a 1500s landscape, and it slowly builds tension. Oh, I like that sword actually, I really do like that sword. Now this level is understandably a bit of a mess. There's just so much flashing decoration, but there's some really good stuff here if you ask me. And this is the part that I've never finished because I just did not have enough time. Whoa, there's this animation here, hold on. I made an animation of Romeo decapitating Tybalt, and then I didn't really feel like explaining the rest of the story as an actual Geometry Dash level, so I just kind of added this text. And then I made a murder scene at the end. And this pretty cool end screen. I actually kind of like this end screen. And yeah, that's Verona Takedown. When I initially made this level, I was planning to finish it at some point in the holidays, and I just never really did, which is a bit of a shame. I think I would have liked to release this level. We're not going to talk about these three. Probably the next notable level for me to play would be Necrosis, but I really don't want to get to it. We could play Moonlight Park, sponsored by Farmers Union for some reason. What the fuck? I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, this. I don't know why I made this. I just made like a park, and you've got the Hollow Knight there as well, so that's pretty nice. Anyways, I think it's about time I start talking about Necrosis. Nope, we're talking about Element 79AU, unfinished layout by me. I'll be honest, I actually would have liked to finish this level. I was really happy with this gameplay, and I still am, honestly. There's a lot of good parts to it. I specifically remember the jewel in this layout being kind of good. Oh, here we go. Here's the jewel. Oh yeah, that's actually kind of a good jewel. I actually kind of like it. I want to do this whole jewel. Hold on, let me do that. There we go. The rest of the gameplay for this level is just really lazy. Like, what is going on anymore? Like, that's enough of that. Okay, time to stop procrastinating. We need to play Necrosis. I probably dislike the fact that this level exists more than the fact that I haven't released a bunch of other levels. I would gladly swap out never making this level or making a bunch of the other unfinished levels I have lying around in my folder. This level was just a disaster from... I wouldn't say it was a disaster from the moment I started working on it, but it was a disaster from the moment I stopped working on it. Because once I stopped working on it, it just kind of sat there to ferment. And normally that means I would have just dropped it and forgotten about it. However, since this is a collaboration, my friend Terminator made the layout and my friend Polygon was going to be verifying it, I felt pressure to finish it. And so that's kind of why the level exists. I just didn't want to let them down. And I still thought that this was my best level at the time. Honestly, there are some parts of this level that are quite good, if I do say so myself. But only parts. A lot of this level is just a complete mess. In fact, it's so much of a mess that I'm gonna no-clip it. I don't care. It's better than some of my older levels in terms of messiness in that, you know, there's an actual consistent theme all throughout. And I think the level actually does some kind of interesting things with like world building. Like you go through different sections of like the necrotic realm and the necrotic core and stuff. This level has lore. It's kind of cringe, but it does have lore. But yeah, this is where I just kind of gave up on making Deco look good, and I just resorted order to movements and glow. I really don't want to play the rest of this level. This level exists, and it is what it is. I think I take back what I said about I'd prefer to have released a bunch of other levels in my creative folder, because it taught me a lesson that if you want to finish a level, you've got to work on a level. Because if you don't, this is what happens. You know what, I can appreciate it for that. So I guess with necrosis out of the way, that kind of brings us up to speed. I'm not going to play through Slingus Flingus, but I will give you a quick little story about it. So, it actually started as a part in some random Insane Demon collaboration that I found on Discord called Flingus 4 Collab. The server's been deleted now, so I can't really show any pictures, but it was run by someone named Flingus 4, who'd have thought. I chose the name Slingus Flingus, and he was like, yeah, that's good. And I made my part, no one else made their part, the server was literally deleted. I was left with this part in the level that I didn't really know what to do with, and I was really happy with it. So I thought, you know what, I'll just try and turn it into a full level. And for once, it actually went quite well. Also, I highly doubt that the server was run by the real Flingus 4 from the Wolsey situation. If it was though, that would be the funniest thing in the world. I think I'm going to call it there. I've looked through a bunch of the more significant levels from my history of creating, and I think I've basically covered everything I wanted to cover. This was honestly really fun, just a kind of extended trip down memory lane. I'll end off with a quick preview of Spicy Romance, which is the level I'm working on right now. Oh god, it's not running well. Might see this coming sometime soon, but I'm not sure. I think that's about as much of that as you need to see. It might turn into something good, but who knows. I'm gonna call it there. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, consider subscribing. If you didn't, consider subscribing. I don't think I'm gonna be posting content immediately upon 2.2's release, but you'll see a little bit from me in the future once it comes out and I've had the time to kind of grasp everything going on with the level editor. But that's about all I had to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you after 2.2. Have a great day.